So the media is in the process of exposing yet another of Kevin Smith's lies, this one involving Tila and relationship status, with CBR penning this article here that kind of matches up with what the writers had to say about this series before it ever came out. Now granted, when the writers talked about this initially, they spoke about this with generalities. They talked about what they saw in the original series, what they thought was there, and really, you could tell what they were saying about transposing these themes over onto the new series. Now, Kevin Smith, he flat out denied that this was going to happen. So you and I, we're going to talk about that article. We're going to talk about what he said. And I imagine there's going to be people out there like Kevin Smith that will try to spin this into some kind of ism or some kind of phobia because they don't like their lies called out. And they lied to you, and that's not acceptable at all. Kevin, everything that you told people turned out to be false. So hey there to all you fine folks on this fine day, by the way. Now, as far as Kevin Smith and lying goes, he seems to be as comfortable lying as he is posting pictures of himself crying, and you know what? He does that quite a bit. In fact, according to his own team, he likes to send pictures of himself crying to them as well. Here's part of an interview. Without spoiling anything, there's an episode where Orko and Evil N get to take center stage and have some of the most beautiful and illuminating dialogue that sells those characters in an amazing way. The script came in and Kevin Smith texted me, "Did you read it yet?" And he sent a picture to me of himself crying. So with that mental image firmly implanted, let's step into our way back machine and go all the way back to March 10th, 2020. So here's Clownfish TV. Clownfish TV, by the way, they're not tagging in Kevin Smith. They're just talking about the He-Man series. Apparently, Kevin Smith, though, is so thin-skinned that he's probably searching that name out. So he has my understanding of Kevin Smith's He-Man series from an alleged insider. Tila is a better He-Man than Adam, and he steps aside to let her and her girlfriend take over hero duties. If true, and you notice that there, if true, they weren't saying it was confirmed at all, but this won't play well. So Kevin Smith, he finds this, he has to answer it. He even pulls the as a showrunner, so he's calling them out with it. As a showrunner, I really could have used these story suggestions before we locked the script. However, no, He-Man does not stepping aside, and Tila has no girlfriend in our show. The storyline is pretty dark and way metal. Before Revelation, we were calling it End of the Universe. Now, as far as themes go, we already know that the theme of sexuality and the theme of relationships, this was in the minds of the creators of the new show. Why? Because that's what they saw in the old show. They talk about this in interviews. So, of course, they're going to bring these themes over into the new show. And as far as Tila specifically is concerned, well, here's the headline from CBR.com saying, Masters of the Universe Revelation hints at major LGBT romance. The first 5 episodes of Masters of the Universe Revelations hints at a major LGBT romance that could shake up the He-Man lore immensely. Now, from here on in, there's obviously going to be spoilers. So, I'm going to give you a 5 countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and yeah, let's get into this. So CBR begins by talking about the death of Prince Adam, and they basically say that Tila, when she's first dealing with all of this, it seems like maybe she's dealing with secret feelings for Prince Adam, and that's not how I took it at all. I took it as Tila basically being a terrible human being, not realizing that Prince Adam, he died saving her and the universe, but hey, what do I know? However, they continue. As the 5 episodes progress, it becomes clear that it's all platonic and that she's actually hurting from a breach of trust between sibling-like figures. Now, from there, we're going to have Tila brought up, and we're going to have this character here. This is the character they're saying, ooh, there's definitely romantic chemistry. And if you really want to get conspiratorial, follow me with this. So on Netflix, you have your episode breakdown, and well, in the synopsis, you have Tila, always mentioned, and Tila, well, she's about the only person given a name quite often. You have Tila and the others, for example. You have Tila's group, and so on, but in episode 2, where that certain character is introduced, this is how it reads. Now mercenaries, Tila and her partner accept a job from a mysterious woman to retrieve an old goblet from deep within Snake Mountain. Tila and her partner. Now, either the people that sat on Twitter all day, they didn't mention this person of color here. They basically took away her identity, or they're talking about a relationship. Again, if you want to get conspiratorial. So the article continues by saying instead of that thing that you thought might be there, instead of Prince Adam and Tila, instead of them having any type of connection besides siblings, you have this between Tila and Andrea. That would be episode 2. So they say, instead, you reconcile key moments between Tila and Andrea. There's romantic chemistry between them. The spark is obvious from the moment we're introduced to the two as tech scavengers making money. Andrea is a scientist and engineer. By the way, I find this to be such a creepy parallel they're going to bring up, talking about Man-at-Arms. They talk about Man-at-Arms being Tila's mentor and also comparing them to Andrea. That's her father, not her mentor, her father. But hey, don't bring that word up and compare this to someone that you want to hook them up with. Help protect Tila on these missions. Tila, CBR continues, makes it clear they're important to each other, which for her is all that matters. Now, this could be construed as a tight relationship. They say that, but as the episodes roll on, they shoot cute glances toward each other, especially when Lynn lectures in a mentorship role of sorts in a redemption arc about women taking back their agency and their identities. As they're cutting their way into Grayskull, Evil Lynn teases Tila, saying it's clear that the warrior is in love. While it might seem like Evil Lynn is referring to Adam, it leans more towards Andrea, who does bicker with Tila a lot. It's all playful, mind you, but what sets the stage for this jibe to mean something more is when they previously broke into Triclops' revamped Snake Mountain for Majestra. At Skeletor's old lair, they stole the villain's goblet, but just before the tech cult revealed themselves, Tila grabbed tightly the hand of the frightened Andrea. It seemed to surprise Andrea, and this set the tone for their later interactions, framing what's flirtatious and what's not. The icing on the cake is when Tila makes it clear to Majestra that she's found something real, something quote-unquote tangible by partnering with Andrea. Now, to conclude this, they talk about how Man-at-Arms lied, how the family construct was broken, and how Andrea, she basically becomes that surrogate family. Then they end with this statement here. It seems like Andrea and Tila will continue to inspire each other to greatness, harnessing the most epic power in the cosmos. Love. Now, when you add in the fact that Kevin Smith's own team talks about this, and they also must have ran this by Mattel. Why? Because they brought up Mattel. They said that Mattel, they're aware that people see these themes here. They're very comfortable with that idea. Yeah, you tell me. You tell me what's there. Now, Kevin Smith, he will be the first to call you a sexist or some kind of foe, but really here's a question. Why lie about all of this stuff? If you're going to put Tila in charge, why are you embarrassed about that? If you're going to have a relationship, why are you embarrassed about that too? Who's the real istaphobe now? But anyway, let me know what you think about all of this stuff. As always, too, appreciate the heck out of you. You make it work. Thank you. Appreciate that. Like I say, want to help the channel out? Links in the description, but you being here, that helps. So anyway, I want to end here. See you soon.